Okay, now you're ready to start step 4, which is to read some additional examples, and you're going to record what you notice on one of them. So it says middle school examples. These profiles received an A. Pay close attention to how these are written and organized. What you're going to be doing is paying attention to how all of the different characteristics in here. So the first part of it is the hook, and you might have had other ELA teachers talk to you about how important it is to have a hook to engage your readers, to hook your readers to want to read more. Then you're going to have to pay attention to what two admirable characteristics does the author list, and what are the examples that show them, and you're going to list them over here. And lastly, how did the author end it? Review, tie back to the hook, etc. These examples are going to be super important because they match the scoring guide that your teacher needs to use to grade your paper. And the mentor texts from Time Magazine were really great, but they didn't necessarily have to meet certain criteria that you need to meet or your teachers need to guide you to get better at. So it's going to be really important to look at these examples and the organization and all of that very carefully. So you are going to choose from one of these 4 examples. All of these blue texts are links to 4 different student examples that have been written from last year. I'm going to do the one from the model. So you can't do this one. I'm going to show you what I want you to do. So there's the link. And we've actually removed the pictures and the actual names of the authors because they were from past students and we just don't want to call them out. But when you actually do yours, you're going to have an actual picture in yours and you're going to actually have the name of the person in your name as the author as well. So I'm going to start by reading it. You never know the true side of a person. My friend is amazing. She's always there for my games. Well, unless it's too cold or too hot out. She isn't only known as a friend to me. She is also Melanie to some. But to me, she's just Grammy. Yes, she might mispronounce some words like dishwasher instead of dishwasher. But hey, no one's perfect. I recognize some of those strategies that this author is using in this first paragraph. Specifically, this last part where they point out that she mispronounces the word dishwasher. It kind of reminds me of the model that we read from Time Magazine where it said, but he's a Patriots fan, but hey, nobody's perfect. This is what I'm talking about when I say emulate the style. And I believe there's some other strategies that are emulated in here. One thing I noticed is she started with a quote that this person has often said. So I'm going to go back to here and it says a quote. Well-known quote. Okay, so now I got to figure out what characteristics does this author highlight. Grammy is always there for me. At every game, I'm always waiting to hear her yell in the crowd. Once I do, I feel relaxed knowing she's there to back me up during the game. I can't explain it, but when her yelling takes over the crowd, I instantly become comfortable out on the field. You can ask anyone in my family about her, and they will tell you she's a great cheerleader or a child inside of a grown woman's body. Okay, so that tells me that she's always there for her. I'm assuming this is a girl. I don't know why, but I kind of feel that. So first character is always there. And the examples given were cheering loudly at games. Let me go back to that. And so the other thing that this person said is relaxes the author during games. Okay, so now we got to figure out that second characteristic. I'm guessing it's going to be in the second paragraph because that's how you organize writing by switching paragraphs when you switch ideas. She cares so much about people. She will be the first to figure out a way to help me or my family. It can be anything. Even if I just had a bad day, she will find a way to help cheer me up. It doesn't matter the mood I start with. She will find a way to make it better. She's never worried about herself. She doesn't share what she's doing unless it's something really exciting to her. She just wants to know more about what I'm up to. I have seen her do this to complete strangers at the ballpark. She'll just start talking to anyone around and ask them about what they're doing and have done. Okay, so I see she cares so much of people. You might notice that a lot of these authors, for each paragraph, start the paragraph using the word for the characteristic in that first sentence. And that's a suggestion that I would have for you. Cares about others. Always asks what I'm doing. She asks strangers about themselves as well. So you're going to notice this author has an introduction. Paragraph number 1 is about the first characteristic. Paragraph number 2 is about the second characteristic. And we're going to have a concluding paragraph. Just like what Grammy follows and says, you really never know what a person is like until you get to know them. You never know what they've gone through in the past. So when you meet someone, take the time to get to know them. Make sure you're comfortable with them. Most importantly, be nice and humble around them. So just like her, I try to do this all the time. This is why Grammy is the person I admire and is known to be a friend to all people. What I notice is this author took this quote and elaborated on it at the last paragraph and then wrapped it up by talking about how kind she is and how this person likes to admire her and tries to do what her grandmother did as well. So the author ended it by tying back to the original quote. Then said why she likes to try to be like her grandmother. So that's all you'll need to do. You're going to pick one of these 4 examples to do this on your own document. Good luck.